Hey guys, gals, it is me, once again, Joseph Cohen Mason, and guys, gals, today is a very special edition of Mr.GAMER 990's channel, aka Joseph Cohen Mason, and I want to review my very first TV show in my new channel, which is a very unique thing I'm going to be doing from now on. And the TV show I've personally chosen to review is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and it's by CW Network of all places. And the TV show that the CW Network produced is called Arrow. Now, I have never read any comic book of the Green Arrow himself, but CW Network have taken a comic book like the Green Arrow and produced a very brilliant show like Arrow. And so without further ado, let's begin the official review to Arrow, shall we? CW Network's TV program Arrow follows a young man named Oliver Queen who gets stranded on an island where he was on his way on a field trip basically, and how him and his dad and his friend they crashed into this near this island, an island that is inhabited by dangerous military personnel and figures, and how Oliver Queen's dad, something happens in the premiere episode where you're going to be shocked just to see how it will take Oliver Queen's life in a totally new direction, and how Oliver Queen he ends up having to survive on this island for so long, for so many years, trying to just do the most heinous things, the most necessary things to survive on this island, which, like I said, is inhabited by so many dangerous people and dangerous animals in the wild. But years later, Oliver Queen is rescued by his family, and when he returns home to his mom and little sister and her new fiance, their lives are totally turned upside down because of the appearance of Oliver Queen and his new personality, because the Ollie they once knew from years before he went inside that island, he's gone. And now Oliver Queen is a totally new person, a totally new man, and he's something much more. And Oliver Queen begins to develop a new identity for himself, where he's able to fight crime, save the innocent, and make sure nobody knows who he is, his identity. Because in order for him to save the people and preserve justice in Sterling City, he has to find a way to maintain his identity as the vigilante in the show, who is actually the Green Arrow, but he's not called the Green Arrow. He's known as the vigilante. And throughout the show, we see Ollie, who's going through a lot of trauma from being on the island for so long. He's been stuck on the island for a very long time. It's traumatized him and fucks his life up in so many ways. And he's been scarred and battered for so long being on that island, and it's affecting both him and his family's life, and how it's destroying everything he loves. And you have characters like Oliver Queen, who's played brilliantly by Stephen Amell. You have his mother, Moira Queen, played so well by Susanna Thompson. You have his little sister, Thea, who's played so well by Willa Holland. And then you have Moira's new fiance, Walter. And Walter is a new guy who Oliver is not so used to right now, but besides that, throughout the show, you have characters who Ollie meets, and some people who he knows, like Tommy, played by Colin Donnell. And Tommy Merlin is Oliver Queen's oldest best friend. And you have to have a superhero story. You have to have a love interest for Mr. Queen, aka the aka the Vigilante, and that love interest is Laurel Lance. Laurel Lance is played by Katie Cassidy, the very beautiful Katie Cassidy, and her father, Detective Quentin Lance, has a strong grudge against Mr. Queen, and how he blames him for something that happened before Mr. Queen was on the island, and that grudge he has for Ollie is so deep, and how his Laurel is very distant from Oliver at first, but through the first half of season 1, she soon learns more and more about Oliver Queen, and you will begin to discover more about him as you go on in the show yourself. And you have characters in the show who do a lot of stuff and a lot of support, give a lot of support to the main character, who is Oliver Queen, aka the Hood. And you have characters like John Diggle, played by David Ramsey. David Ramsey is an actor who I've never seen before, but he plays John Diggle, aka Diggs, so well. And I love this character a lot, because at first he comes off as Oliver Queen's very professional bodyguard, but later he evolves much more into something that will really surprise you guys, and you're going to be amazed at how charming and great and fucking fantastic this actor David Ramsey is. I love him, honestly, guys, gals. Here's my favorite part of Arrow besides Mr. Queen, Stephen Amell himself. And guys, before I get to the other actors, Stephen Amell is fucking fantastic. A friend of mine once told me, and you know who you are, my friend, Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow. He is the Vigilante. He is the Hood. And Stephen Amell embodies every aspect of the Green Arrow, which I really love a lot. And the fact that they reference the name Green Arrow in the program is so great. And I love how Oliver Queen evolves into being something much more than your traditional good guy hero who doesn't kill anyone, because he does have to make sacrifices that will have that will secure the safety of his family. At the same time, it's going to really paint him as a villain and as a criminal, because in a world like Sterling City, where you have characters who are so villainous and so insane, you have to make sacrifices, which is what Oliver Queen does. And Oliver Queen, as the vigilante, tries to make those sacrifices and those kills for the safety of his family and for the safety of Sterling City. And how he balances those two aspects, those two worlds, between the vigilante and Ollie is impossible, because they love their sweet little Ollie, and they are scared by the vigilante. But how can he balance those two worlds and have no conflict? Because there will be conflict, and Oliver Queen is by far one of the best characters I've seen in any show or any movie in general. Because guys, this comes off as a damn great story in general that rivals any superhero movies out there. The vigilante, aka Oliver Queen, they are two sides of the coin who you cannot see, who you can't get enough of, because I can get enough of how cool the vigilante is. I can get enough of how awesome Stephen Amell is as Oliver. And besides that, you have characters like David Ramsey as John Diggle. You have characters like Moira and Thea, played by Willa Holland and Susanna Thompson, very brilliantly, I must say. You have Colin Donnell, who plays Tommy Merlin so well. You have Katie Cassidy, who is so magnificently beautiful and awesome as the tough, spunky, and very charming what's her name? Well, yeah, Laurel Lance. And you have the very hard-edged, rough, tough Quentin Lance, Detective Quentin Lance. And I love how Quentin Lance is played so well by by Paul Blackthorne. Paul Blackthorne plays Quentin Lance with such gravitas and such real humanity that you don't hate the guy. Actually, you agree with him at parts in the show, and I agree with him. He's a damn great character, played very well by Paul Blackthorne. And then you have side characters like Emily Beth Rickards, who is so cute and lovely to watch as Felicity. Felicity is a very good addition to the cast, and she really brings a lot of charm and a lot of wit and intelligence to her role. She does contribute a lot to the story. Felicity is a great character I love so much. And then you have so many main bad guys. You have one character in the program. I'm not going to spoil anything, but let me just say that Slade Wilson is in this program. Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, is in this TV show. Slade Wilson as Deathstroke is so awesome. I love Deathstroke, and the way they create his character and the way they establish him as a supreme elite soldier who is so dangerous and like insane. I love that character a lot. And the actor who plays Slade Wilson, Manu Bennett. Manu Bennett is a New Zealand/Australian actor who I really love a lot. This actor brings so much to the character of Slade Wilson, and I love every moment he's on screen. Slade Wilson is a badass, and Oliver Queen in the past, he was just a kid who doesn't know what he's doing. And then you have other characters like Oliver Queen's mentor and master, Yao Fei. Yao Fei is a guy who Oliver meets on the island, and he trains Oliver and all of the skills and all the technique he knows to survive, and how he must be able to overcome great odds and obstacles to be able to survive at any cost. And I love Yao Fei a lot, because Yao Fei adds so much to the story like every other character does. Every character in this show adds something to the story. They have something to contribute, and they have something to establish in the overall story and universe that is the Arrow. And you have also other side characters like Shadow. Shadow is a very beautiful young woman who's a person I love so much. Her character you learn more about, but she is something. She really is something I really like. I'm not going to spoil anything, but let me just say that her character is so amazing. I love Shadow, I love Yao Fei, I love Slade Wilson, and I love every other character in the show. The show ultimately is a story about how it's about trust, it's about friendship, it's about sacrifice, it's about doing the necessary actions to protect those you love. It's a show about how you can't always think there's a borderline between good and bad, because in the end the issue between good and bad is something that you can't normally judge. And I love every character in the show and what they go through, because there are times, guys, in the Green Arrow, people will die. All of us friends and family are at risk of dying. They are at risk of losing their lives to the corruption that is Sterling City. Oliver Queen is just one man. He's one man, and even as the Hood, he's still one man, and he's not a superhuman being. No, he's not superhuman. He's ultimately a man who wears a hood, and he's ultimately a man who can get hurt, who can get damaged brutally. But guys, the greatest damage and greatest pain that Oliver Queen as the Hood and as Ollie himself goes through, the greatest pain he can endure is having to lie to the people he loves. Having to lie, deceive the people he loves is much more of a painful sacrifice he has to make. But only the Green Arrow or the Hood can make that choice. Only he can make that decision, because to choose to lie to your family, to protect them, is a great sacrifice that only the Hood can make, that only Oliver Queen can make. And Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow. He is the Green Arrow, and I love this show, guys, gals. I want to say so many things about this show, but it is just too much to describe. I will say though, Arrow is a brilliant show I love so much, and this show really brings a lot to the plate of the DC universe and how DC have finally made a TV show I love so much. Because as good as Smallville was, the ending to that show was kind of like lame, but I love Arrow a lot. It is one of my new favorite TV shows ever. It is a damn great show. I hope you can all watch. Just please watch the show whenever you have the time. Okay, that's about it for my review on the CW Network's the TV show The Green Arrow. Oh, sorry, I mean like Arrow, that's what it's called, yeah. And in case you're wondering, I love the show a lot, and so should you, because this show is really one of a kind. And guys, honestly, I can't get enough of it. I'm gonna watch season 2 real soon. Here I come season 2, and here I come Deathstroke. Oh yeah, you bet I'm coming for you, boy. Anyways, that's about it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. And please like, comment, subscribe. And that's about it. Oh, one more thing. Adios, amigos.